This is question number 15. 4 different velocity profiles are given here, and you have to find out the displacement thickness, momentum thickness, energy thickness, and the shape factor for each of the velocity profiles here, numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so these are extremely important questions. Next topic for today. See, this is the one which I want to cover, and we will solve a numerical problem also based on this. Please listen to me carefully. So we are talking about, principle of similitude. That means similarity studies, then types of similarities, then model testing. Can anybody tell me what is the use of a model?
നമ്മൾ ആ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ബിൽഡ് ചെയ്ത് നമ്മൾ പ്രോട്ടോടൈപ്പ് ഉണ്ടാക്കിയാൽ നമുക്ക്
Ah,
പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ്
ah,
ബിഹേവ് ചെയ്യും അതിന്റെ അഡ്വാൻറ്റേജ് ഡിസഡ്വാൻറ്റേജ്
okay,
എങ്ങനെയാണെന്ന് നമുക്ക് കേട്ട് മനസ്സിലാവും.
exactly. പക്ഷേ ഇവിടെ പറഞ്ഞതില് പ്രോട്ടോടൈപ്പ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് prototype. See, model and prototype. There are two aspects now. See, prototype means the actual machine. Okay, it's not model. And model in the sense a small scale. Model is actually a small scale replica. A small scale replica of the actual machine to be fabricated, or actual device or instrument to be, or vehicle to be manufactured. So the actual machine or actual device, that is called prototype. And usually a small scale replica, small scale model is made, but it is not necessary that always the model will be smaller than the prototype. For example, if you consider like if you want to make the mechanisms in a watch, the wrist watch and all, and if you want to make a model and then conduct studies on it before manufacturing the actual one, and in that case you will be making a large scale model. So if the actual machine is very, very small, then the model will be a large size one, so that the studies can be conducted properly. But usually the scenario is that the model will be a smaller one. For example, the model of an aeroplane, model of a ship, etc., and model of a hydraulic turbine. So before manufacturing or fabricating the devices, for example, aeroplanes, ships, hydraulic turbines, hydraulic pumps, etc., the small scale models can be made, and tests are conducted on it, and then the behavior and the performance of the actual machine can be predicted by or from the results which we obtain by conducting experiments on the model. Before actually constructing the prototype, these small scale models are made and tests are conducted on it. But how can we rely on the performance of the model to predict the performance, or how can we rely the results which we obtain from the model, and that how can we think that those results will be very apt one, or that will be the correct one to predict the behavior of the prototype? See, for that purpose, for if you want to conduct the study on the model, or we make a model of the actual machine, then there are certain similarity types to be satisfied, the principle of similitude to be satisfied. So in order to rely on the results which we get from the model should actually represent in every similarity aspect it should satisfy with the prototype. So for that purpose, how can a model represent the principle of similitude with the prototype? So that we will discuss now. Principle of similitude or similarities, that means types of similarities involved. There are 3 types of similarities which normally we study. The 3 different types, and one is geometric similarity. Geometric similarity means it is the similarity of dimensions. So similarity. So you must have studied about similar triangles and all. So we don't want to say that the shapes are exactly, the size is exactly identical. The shapes may be similar, the sizes may not be identical one. So geometric dimensions are proportional. So similarity of dimensions is referred to as the geometric similarity between the model and the prototype that may exist between the model and the prototype. So I repeat, prototype means the actual machine or the device to be constructed, and the model usually will be a small scale replica of the actual machine to be fabricated or constructed. So geometric similarity is the first type, that is a similarity in dimension. So that means there must be a certain scale ratio. So we'll get a scale ratio of linear dimensions we use. For example, if you consider the length of the prototype, breadth of the prototype, and the height of the prototype, the 3 dimensions, then the scale ratio in the sense, see length, breadth, height ratios between the model and the prototypes. Geometric similarity or similarity of dimensions must be satisfied between the model and the prototype. So the length ratio, breadth ratio, height ratio. So even LM and LP, doesn't mean that length alone. So it may be breadth, it may be height, it may be diameter, it may be any other linear dimension. So that is regarding the scale ratio of linear dimensions. Now we will consider the kinematic similarity or kinematic similarity. Kinematic similarities, kinematics is referred to as, that is regarding the motion parameters, kinematics, that involves the study of motion. Motion parameters means pure motion parameters, just like velocity, acceleration, etc. So kinematic similarity is actually similarity in similarity of kinematic parameters. Kinematic parameters, that is your pure motion parameters. See, why do we say pure means, so that doesn't involve the force aspect. So pure motion parameters. So here we will have the example, velocity, acceleration, displacement, etc. Okay. So similarity of kinematic parameters. So here you can have the velocity ratio, So in this context, we will consider velocity ratio, acceleration ratio, like VR, velocity ratio, VR, acceleration ratio, let it be AR, etc. So VR may be velocity of a certain point, velocity of a certain point, certain component, certain point on the model divided by velocity of the corresponding point in the prototype. See the corresponding points, such points are known as homologous points. So velocity at a point on the model divided by velocity of the corresponding point on the prototype. That ratio is velocity ratio. And acceleration ratio is acceleration of the model divided by, if it is simply one entity, one rigid motion, then you can consider AM by AP. Like acceleration of the model divided by acceleration of the prototype. Okay, so there the velocity, what do we say, when the model and the prototype are kinematically similar? So that means the velocity of corresponding points in the model and the prototype, they need not be equal, but they will be proportional. The velocities and acceleration of the corresponding points in the model and the prototype will be proportional. Then we say that the model and the prototype are kinematically similar. Now the third one is called the ultimate similarity, that is called dynamic similarity. Dynamic. This is the most important out of the three. Dynamic similarity. Actually, this is actually similarity of forces. Similarity of similarity of forces. See, forces means as we discussed in the previous class on 2nd of November, I told you about various non-dimensional parameters used in fluid mechanics: Reynolds number, Froude number, Euler number, Weber number, Mach number, etc. See, in those numbers, we have considered certain forces like inertia force, common to all, inertia force Fi. Then we considered viscous force. In fact, the ratio of inertia force to viscous force is Reynolds number. Then we considered gravity force in Froude number, inertia force to gravity force. That's the ratio. So then we considered surface tension force, say Fs, surface tension force in Weber number, inertia force and surface tension force. Then we considered elastic force, force due to compressibility, or elastic force, say Fe. And these are etc. So these are the forces we considered for obtaining the non-dimensional numbers like such as Reynolds number, Mach number, etc. So similarity of forces, when you consider, then that is called a dynamic similarity between the model and the prototype. So in the case of dynamic similarity, this is actually the ultimate similarity or the complete similarity or total similarity. So that means if dynamic similarity is satisfied between the model and the prototype, then that means geometric similarity and kinematic similarity is automatically satisfied. Okay, so complete similarity between the model and the prototype. Prototype is said to exist between the model and prototype when when model and prototype are dynamically similar. So dynamically similar in the sense these force ratios. So we will consider the force ratios to be identical. Force ratio. Force ratio, force ratio means say FR, right? It's not Froude number, it is ratio. So force ratio. So that is inertia force on model, inertia force on prototype. See, like this prototype, or even it can be the viscous force on the model, FV model divided by viscous force on the prototype, the gravity force on the model divided by gravity force on the prototype, surface tension force on the model divided by surface tension force on the prototype, or even there may be pressure also, pressure force on the model. So this you can have pressure force also. FP, P stands for pressure, okay? F pressure. So that means FP I am representing. So FP on the model, FP on the prototype. Suffix M stands for the model and P stands for the prototype, okay? Right. So FP means pressure force. And these ratios, see this, the force ratio. So these ratios are to be identical. So when the model and the prototype are dynamically similar, which is considered to be the complete or ultimate similarity, in that case, the force ratio, as I displayed over here, they are to be identical. Force ratio should be identical. It doesn't mean that the elastic force on the model is equal to elastic force on the prototype. Definitely, we are talking about the ratios are equal, not the absolute magnitude. Okay, so we have now geometric similarity, kinematic similarity, and dynamic similarity. See, as we told in the beginning, so in order to have a fruitful and effective prediction of the behavior and the performance of the prototype, we have to conduct tests on models which have to satisfy geometric, kinematic similarity and dynamic similarities. So all the three similarities, or what we call principle of similitude, to be satisfied between the models and the prototype. Then only such models on conducting test can give you effective and reliable results for predicting the behavior and performance of the prototype. Okay, so now we have the certain model laws available. Very simple topic, because you can easily understand once you know what is Reynolds number, Froude number, Euler number, Weber number, and Mach number, etc. See, first law is model law, means Reynolds model law. See, these are the laws to be satisfied between the models and the prototype if they are dynamically similar. If the model is dynamically similar to the prototype, definitely this force ratio will be identical of these forces. So that means they will satisfy these laws, model, Reynolds model law, Froude model law, Euler model law, Weber model law, and Mach model law. So that doesn't mean that a same model will satisfy all these model laws. So we don't be under that impression. But the prominent model laws will be satisfied. So we have to consider like that. So Reynolds model law, Froude model law, Euler model law, so they are to be applied. They are to be applied on different contexts, So like based on the importance. And there can be instances when the multiple laws can be satisfied also. Multiple laws in the sense at the same time, the model and the prototype that satisfy Reynolds model law, again that satisfy Euler model law, that can be the case. Since the various forces involved on different flow context are different, out of these model laws, certain model laws will be very relevant for certain type of models. For example, if you consider a ship, and if you want to make the model of a ship and test it, and then the better one will be, say, Froude model law is very much applicable, because that the ship, its region of operation is sea or ocean. So there you have a free surface. So that is an example of a free surface motion, or a free surface flow of fluid is involved. So if gravity aspect is involved, then Froude model law can be made use of. So when you consider the motion of a ship in sea or ocean, then you will be considering Froude model law between the model of the ship and the prototype. Okay, Froude model law. So, and since you have the viscosity involved, you can make use of Reynolds law. If the pressure is involved, you can make use of Euler model law. If surface tension force is a dominant one, then you can make use of Weber model law and Mach model law. So then what exactly is model laws? Reynolds model law means Reynolds number of model is equal to Reynolds number of prototype. It's not proportional. They are to be equal. Reynolds number of model is equal to Reynolds number of the prototype. Then we say that Reynolds model law is satisfied. So Reynolds model law, so that means Reynolds number of the model is equal to Reynolds number of the prototype. So what does it mean? So let me write. So this number of the model is equal to this number rho L B by mu of the prototype. See, now we can use suffix m for model. See this one, suffix m for model and p for the prototype. So what you can write is, so rho m L m, then velocity of the model divided by mu m, and mu m is the absolute viscosity of the fluid in which the model is tested. So that is equal. See, this fluid properties, depends on the fluid under the circumstances. Like for example, if you are conducting a model test on a ship, then where the model is tested in water, pure water or sea water, so that density has to be taken, that viscosity has to be taken. So rho m Lm Vm divided by mu m, that is equal to rho p Lp then Vp divided by mu p. Okay, this is it. See, this is how we use it. And now Froude model law. And Froude model law means FR, say FR, it's not force ratio. See, I'm talking about Froude number. So Froude number of the model, that is equal to the Froude number of the prototype. Froude number of the prototype. Okay. And what does it mean? See, this is about the first law. And now about the second one, that is Froude model law means what? Froude number is what? See, we explained during the last class, we discussed it. See, that is velocity by root of Lg. See, it's velocity of the model divided by the V by root of Lg. Okay. So V divided by root of Lg, that is Froude number of the model. See, I'm going to use the suffix Lm, then Vp, then Lp. See, like this. So what is that? Vm by root of Lm into g. See why I'm not writing g, gravitational acceleration may be same in both cases, because we generally use a mean value of gravitational acceleration on the Earth's surface. So wherever the test is conducted or wherever the prototype has to be operated, the value of g necessarily be the same. So Vm by root of Lmg, that is equal to Vp by root of Lpg. So that is Froude model law. And then similarly, you have Euler model law. It's very simple. So Euler number. So Euler number, say E or E suffix R or EU. Okay, so that is generally represented. I think we have written EU. Okay, so Euler number of the model. Euler number of the model must be same as Euler number of the prototype. Euler number of the prototype, that is about Euler model law. So in order to apply that, you should know what is Euler number. And Euler number, the third one, the Euler number, Euler's model law, Euler number is actually P by rho V square. So pressure acting on the model, rho of the fluid involved in the model, rho m, then velocity of the model. So that is equal to the pressure prototype, density prototype side, density of the fluid involved, then velocity of the prototype, that square. So P by, so this is about Euler's model law. So similarly, you have Weber model law, Weber number. So if you write W or WB, so that is Weber model law means Weber number of the model, that must be same as Weber number of the prototype. Weber number of prototype. Okay, this is it. And then Mach model law. So that means Mach number of the model is equal to Mach number of the prototype. Mach number of the prototype. So similar to the expressions I have written for 1, 2, and 3, that is Reynolds model law, equating Reynolds number of the model and prototype over here. See this one. And similar to that, second is Froude model law means Froude Froude number of the model that must be equated to the Froude number of the prototype, and then Euler model law. So that means Euler number of the model is equal to Euler number of the prototype, and Weber model law means Weber number of the model is equal to Weber number of the prototype. Weber number is actually the ratio of inertia force to the surface tension force. So, and the last class we derived that we have written Weber number is equal to rho L V by sigma. And so that number of the model must be equated to that number of the prototype, Weber number of the prototype. Then Mach number, and we have expressed in terms of the velocity ratio, like velocity of the fluid divided by velocity of sound in the fluid medium. So that V by C of the model, if that is equated to V by C of the prototype, then that is known as Mach model law. V by C means what? Mach number. So Mach number of the model must be equated to Mach number of the prototype in order to satisfy Mach model law. So these are the 5 model laws applicable, and out of which the relevant ones, laws must be chosen. Okay, it's not necessary that all these laws will be applied simultaneously. The prominent ones we will apply. For example, we will solve. So we have now 5 more minutes. Like 10 minutes, I think. So we will solve a question now. So that will clarify the complete picture of the model testing and model laws. If the model is not satisfying these similarities to the full extent, then such models are called distorted models. So we have model of the ship and the model of the prototype. Okay, and model I am giving suffix M, and the prototype I am giving suffix P. It's a very simple question. Simple logic is involved, and which prominent model law has to be applied, and that you should choose. Okay, so 2.5 meter ship model, see that is given 2.5 meter. So that is actually the length of the model. So that is, I'll write LM. So that is 2.5 meter. And length of the prototype, see this one in the question, it is given 2.5 meter ship model was tested in fresh water. Fresh water model is tested. So therefore the density, see we use the density of density rho, that is equal to 1000 kilogram per meter cube, but that is applicable for the model because model is tested in fresh water or pure water where the density is 1000 kilogram per meter cube. So this is actually, you can write rho of the fresh water to be taken as rho suffix M, because it is not the density of the model, the material of the model, but the density of water in which the model is tested. So that's very important. Now the ship. What about the ships? It's given that the 40 meter prototype that is mentioned. You have to find out the velocity of 40 meter prototype that is given in the question. 40 meter prototype. So therefore, LP, the length of the prototype under consideration, actual ship under consideration is 40 meters. Okay, we'll solve it fast. And finally, the ship has to be operated in seawater. See seawater. The prototype. See that is moving in seawater. So therefore, where the density is 1025. So when you consider the prototype side, the density of the fluid, that will be density of seawater. Seawater, which is equal to 1025. If it is tested in air, then you have to consider ship cannot be tested. But if it is, I'm telling you, a different situation where, for example, aeroplanes and all shifted in air, so that means the rho of air should be taken. So rho here, the prototype is tested in seawater. So it has to be operated in seawater. So rho of P, that is 1025 kilogram per meter cube. Okay. And then definitely the acceleration due to gravity. So that 9.81 meter per second square. You need not make a distinction because G will be same under the testing condition and the operating condition. So 9.81 if the gravitational field is uniform. So 9.81 meter per second square we will take. Okay, on the both cases. So here you have the model data and the prototype. And now we have some more information. A resistance of 45 Newton. There was a resistance of 45 Newton when the model is tested. The measurements indicated that there was a resistance of 45 Newton when the model was moved at a velocity of 2 meter per second. See this, when the model of the ship was moved, VM is equal to 2 meter per second. Then the resistance, the resistance force, so that was observed to be, or sometimes you can say even drag force, or that is necessarily the propelling force to take the model forward. Okay, so the propulsive force or the drag, that will be equal to the drag force provided the ship or the model is moving at constant velocity. So it is Fm model, the resistance force on the model, the drag force on the model, that is 45 Newton. And work out the velocity of 40 meter prototype. Work out the velocity of the prototype we need to find out. And then calculate the force required to drive the prototype at this speed. Whatever speed of the prototype, we find out what is the force required to propel the ship or the prototype ship. So at the velocity, we found out. So FP, what is that force required to drive? Whereas the force required to move the model in water, in fresh water, that is just 45 Newton at the velocity 2 meter per second. See, the drag force is dependent on velocity. Okay, see this force aspect, the force required, the force of resistance or force of drag, force of resistance or even force of drag. So you can say, you can write FD, and that is actually, that is of the order of, so that is of the order of, just like we found out inertia force. So rho a v square, you can make use of that. So it is proportional to rho a v square, and instead of area, you can write L square. So dimensionally L square. So the force is the expression or the quantity force is similar to rho L square v square. So this you must know, rho L square v square. So force on the model. So that is similar to what? Rho m Lm then Vm square. So this you should know. Okay, see, please concentrate carefully. Only when you get the idea, you'll be able to solve it. So we require hardly 2 or 3 minutes. So please bear with me. So Fm is similar to this, and then Fp, force on the prototype, is of the order of what? Rho P Lp and Vp square. But when you have these proportional quantities, but if you take the ratio, so you take the ratio, say Fp divided by Fm. I'm taking that ratio, either Fm by Fp or Fm by Fp or Fp by Fm. Okay, so if you take this ratio, then what you will get? Rho P Lp Vp square divided by rho m Lm Vm square. Okay, so out of this, and in this question, and you have to find out the force required to drive, and in fact you have to find out the power required to drive the prototype at this speed also. So we'll do it fast now. See, in this context, which model law has to be applied? That's very important. So this is the force ratio. Finally, we find out the force from this. Okay, this is extremely important for us. Okay, and now the which model law has to be made use of? As I told you already, here the ship is moving in water, seawater, and in that case, the gravity force, it is actually the example of free surface flow is involved in the context. Therefore, the Froude number is important. Froude model law is relevant in this context. Okay, so this is highly relevant. So since Froude model law is significant, so we will, what is that Froude model law? So what is that? Froude number of the model, Fr. Model, it's not force ratio, it is Froude number of the model, that is equal to Froude number of the prototype. Okay, see what do we do? So Froude number means what? Velocity. See, I'm writing velocity of the model now. That is Vm divided by root of Lg. Froude number is V by root of Lg. So V by root of Lg. So Froude number means, see, V by root of Lg is Froude number. Froude number of the model, that is equal to Froude number V by root of Lg of the prototype. So this is what we do. So please listen to me. Vm by root of Lm into G is equal to Vp divided by root of Lp into G. See, anyway, G is common and will be cancelled. So what do we get? So what we require is, let me take velocity of the prototype divided by velocity of the model. So if I take this ratio, then definitely on the right hand side, what do you get? Vp by Vm is equal to square root of, what is that? Lp by Lm, because G will be cancelled. Lm. And what is LP? See, LP is 40 meter length of the ship, 40 meters, and Lm is the model. Model is 2.5 meter length. So 40 by 2.5 meter length. So if you take root of 16, 40 by 2.5 16, root of 16 is 4. So Vp by Vm is equal to 4. So what is velocity of the prototype? Velocity of the actual ship. So that is 4 times velocity of the model. And the model is tested. It is given that it is tested at 2.5 meter per second, 2 meter per second. Yeah, 2 meter per second. See this? Vm is 2 meter per second. So it is tested at 2 meter per second. So it is 4 into 2. So it is 8 meter per second. So this is the answer. So once you get this answer, now the idea is very simple now. So the prototype velocity is now 8 meter per second, and correspondingly, so now you have to get what is the force involved. Two quantities you need to find out. See, this is substituting in this expression. See, we have FP divided by FM is equal to what is that? Rho P LP VP square divided by rho P. See, I made a mistake. I'm really sorry. See, this force actually is rho L square V square. So it has to be of the order of rho M LM square. So the length ratio. So length LM square. So this is of square actually. It's rho A V square. So rho P LP square VP square rho M LM square VM square. It's not linear dimension square. A linear dimension square has to be taken. So LP square divided by rho M. Then this is LM square, then VM square. Okay, since it is rho area V square, it is LP square. I repeat because I have written earlier LP. I mean, it is actually LP square involved in the force expression. So this is it. And now this expression, see this one, FP by LM. FP need to be found out. Force on the ship, force required to drive the ship, and FM is 45 Newton. So that is given. And rho P by rho M. See, rho P by rho M. See, prototype is to be operated in seawater where the density is 1025 kilogram per cubic meter. Rho of the model. Model is tested in fresh water where the density is 1000. So 1025 by 1000 into the length of the prototype. Length of the prototype is 40. Length of the model is 2.5, and that square is there. Remember, I repeat, that square is involved. Then velocity of prototype that we found out 8 meter per second divided by velocity of the model. So that is 2. Okay, so like that. So you just calculate this. From this, you can calculate the force required to overcome the resistance in seawater for the prototype, for the actual ship. So force required to drive it, or the propulsive force, so that is equal to the force of drag because it has to be propelled at a constant velocity of 8 meter per second. So that is our assumption. So this is this much Newton, and if it is a bigger quantity, you can convert that into kilonewton also. So this is the answer, kilonewton also. And then you have finally the power required to drive. So power required to drive. So that is actually the force required to drive multiplied by the velocity. See the velocity here. See, we are talking about the prototype. Power required to drive. This is for the original ship. Okay, for the prototype, what is the power required to drive? So the force of drag, see that which you find out the force on the prototype. Let me write FP into VP. FP into VP. So you can multiply over here and then you will get the answer in watts, provided force is in Newton and velocity is in meter per second. Okay, then we'll wind up here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.